Hi friends, it's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today we are back to close out my budget in EveryDollar for the month of September. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe below. Hope y'all are having a super fantastic day. Thank you to everybody who have subscribed and keep returning. I appreciate you all so much. All right, I've got all my transactions open on the screen, and we are going to jump right in. And then after we finish closing out my budget, we're going to create my October budget. So if you're new, this is the first video you're seeing, or you came in like in the middle of the month, I actually create a budget on paper, also create one in EveryDollar based off of that monthly budget. My paycheck to paycheck budgets are a little bit more accurate because I've seen my pay statement, and I may know of some other things that may affect my expenses for the month. So let's come in here. So I do have a electronic slash paper side of it, but I do better with paper and writing things down because I tend to misbehave when it's electronic. I'm not even gonna lie to you. All right, so we're gonna go and drag and drop my income. So I got paid on August 31st. That's my first paycheck of the month. I want to make sure that does it. Okay. Yeah, they've made some interface changes here, so it's a little bit different than what I'm used to. And then my 15th paycheck. You know what? I forgot to type in the rent. So there's a couple ways. You can go here by clicking on this blue button to add a transaction. And so we're going to do that this time. Or you can click on the category. So this is income. This is rent from my son. And you put that on income versus expenses. And if I just click add income, it will be in this area over here under the transactions. And then I can drag and drop it. I don't know what day I put that on. There we go. I put it on today's date. So let's fix that because he pays on the first. And this is another way, instead of dragging and dropping, you can do that. And so it'll move from this transactions window over here to the income. There was one more thing because I did get my checkout 51 rebate. So I'm going to add an additional line for that. To rebates. And I didn't budget anything, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in so that way. And I'm not going to put anything just yet. And there'll be a reason why. And I'll show you why I do it the way I do. And this is from my sinking funds. And this is just to help me out of my first paycheck. So that was my bill money. So I have to also remember to subtract that out. And that was $197. But I'm going to leave that blank too. We're going to leave that. Going to leave it alone. Get back to the transactions and I'll show you something. So you'll see right now my total income is $54.32, right? And so let's take the bill sinking fund and you'll see how it has the plan and receipt. I typically don't plan this. It's whatever I need once I budget my very first paycheck. And the next one is the rebate. I didn't think I was going to do this either. All right. So you'll see my received is $56.65 and then my income was $54.32. If I take this actually factors in that I got this extra money. And so that's why I do that. So it'll show I do have money that wasn't in the original budget and I need to make sure I zero everything out. So 197 there. And so it'll show the 233 left to budget because that was the additional to my incomes. And so we are going to drag ourselves on down here. We're going to go down to the expenses portion. They have a debt tracker in here. I don't use it anymore, but that's only because I'm debt free. But I did used to use the debt tracker down here. It's pretty useful to have it, but it would be down here and then it would do the countdown. It can't factor in like interest and stuff like that. So you have to, like, if interest get add interest in with credit cards and stuff like that. But I thought it worked really well to show how much of your income went to debt, because they have a whole little pie chart and everything. So let's get the identity theft out of the way. It's $299. Health insurance, $14.42. And if you don't know, my sons are adults. They pay for their own. Only my youngest one is eligible to be covered by me, but he has his own. He's gotten it, I think he was 18. So identity theft, I'm going to reconcile that. So you'll see my planned and my spent, they don't equal. I'm going to make them equal. So this way I can allocate any overage, any under, I can take care of all of that. So there's a method for my madness. And so health insurance, let's drag and drop this one. $28.84. Hope you guys had a good weekend and a good Tuesday, because it's going to be Tuesday when you guys see this. I got 2 more days before my coworker comes back from vacation, and I can from that point do one job, y'all. I'm going to be so happy. See my son's savings. All right, so those are the 2 transactions that come out of my check automatically. And you'll see when I reconcile the health insurance and my identity theft, you'll see my left to budget has increased. Now let's go up to my rent. Now if I overspend, the reverse is true. It'll turn red if it goes into the negative. So $17.89. All right, so now the left to budget went up to $245. And so the bill sinking fund, one of the things I have to make sure I do is when I take money out of a sinking fund, I have to make sure I represent that in here. Because if I don't, it's going to be inaccurate. So I have to drag and drop that in here. And I am going to go and look at paycheck number 2 to see what exactly I put into the bill money sinking fund, or 1 month ahead. I should say 1 month ahead, because that's what you guys know it as. I just like to call it my bill money. So I put $12.43 in there, and I want you to see something. $12.43. I see $2 left. It goes. Yeah, I've been doing this for I've been doing this about 5 years, I believe. Yeah, because I started using the EveryDollar app. It was after I started budgeting, but it was still the same year. And I was listening to the Dave Ramsey podcast, and that's when he was talking about his app. And so I was like, okay. So for the cash envelopes, we are going to pick up my categories, which are my groceries. And the reason why I do cash envelopes, these are the areas that typically, if I'm using my debit card, I'm more than likely going to overspend. So that's why I picked these. I also used to have to do my laundry at a laundromat, and that one wasn't necessarily like I was going to overspend. On that one, it was a necessity, so I needed to make sure I had cash. I went to one of the, it's an older laundromat I used to go to, and so I made sure that I had cash, because they didn't have the newer machines that take like debit cards and stuff like that. I've seen those since I moved out here. When I first came out here, they had the ones that took debit cards and stuff like that. But the one that I used to go to was cash only. All right, I just skipped over my personal. All right, and so we are going to split this out. And so all I did was add a split, and I can just put 660, not 660, 600. And that's restaurant, so that was 80. And so you'll see the I'm pointing at the screen, $200 remaining. The amount dwindles by the number that I put in there. So $100. And you'll see I have 100 left. Now I have 0 remaining, and I can track that expense. So what it'll do, instead of it being 880 in one bucket, it's going to take that 880 and split it into all of the buckets that I said it belonged into. And so you'll see that in groceries, restaurants, and I didn't have to drag and drop each one. I could just do the split on there. That is it. All right, so now let's get up to the household or housing with my Xfinity. We have had a rough month with Xfinity as far as the internet. They've been coming out doing work. 114.69. So we've been having a lot of outages past 2 weeks. The next one, I'll come back to these two. We're gonna go with the utilities, and our utility company is MLGW. And so that is 226. And there's never any change on my utilities because I don't know what it's called. It's something about pennies. It does a donation. So it rounds up to the nearest dollar. Okay, so the last one I have is my portion of the cell phone bill. And I just drag and drop that in the wrong one. Not paying attention. So watch this. So I'll put that in the internet. And you see how it turned red? All I have to do is take that out. And then I can go down this drop down and find the correct category. And it'll put it in the right bucket. And we're going to make this $70. So I have 116 left to budget. Next thing was gas for my car. Because of all the coughing and hacking I've been doing, I haven't gone anywhere. So I've only put $29.52 in my tank for the month, and I am not complaining about that. And after that, I need to find my household sinking fund, which is this one. And so it was $339 was the total for the month. And that's with the deposit, but that doesn't take out anything I spent. So we know I bought something from Amazon and I bought something from Lowe's out of that money. And so the next thing I want to do is I like to double check this because this is where I used to mess up. I used to be accurate with my sinking funds on paper, but inaccurate in EveryDollar. And that's because I wasn't very good at tracking what should be in there. So I am going to see household. I should have 187.86. Woo! I got 187.86. So yeah. Now the next thing I want to do, because I have 336.79 left to spend. So there are some things I probably did not account for on here. So I want to go through this sinking fund area just to make sure that everything is according to my paycheck budgets. I'm dropping all the post-it notes. Paycheck number 1, I typically don't put anything into savings because I'm scrimping and scratching just so I can have money for my cash envelopes. So my emergency fund for paycheck number 2 was $226. And so let's see what we got left after that. All right, so that left me with $301.79. I'm just going to do one more scan through just to make sure I got everything accounted for. But let's make sure, because your household only deposited 100, 160, 40, 10, 40, 130, car maintenance, it's 100, household 1243 for the bill money, nothing for travel, electronics, nothing for son's medical and self-care. Okay, that is all looking good. Transportation looks good, food looks good, lifestyle looks good, And the insurance and tax, it looks good, and there's nothing else underneath there. So we got $301.79. So what I'll do after I get off of here is I will go into my checking account and I'll move that. But we're going to put that into my emergency fund. So today is the 26th. But if I had debt, that will go to my debt. So the next thing I would be doing would be logging into my student loan account and taking that money, 301.79, and putting it to some debt. So let's add this up. So what should it be? 527.79. Let's see. Every once in a while I can do a little math. All right, and so we'll see here that 5203 is now in my that's off. 5203. I got to figure out where I got that off from. But I think I'm a little bit higher on paper. So I got to figure out why this is off 5203.31. Because I think something's missing here. But we'll figure it out later. All right. So here, and then they have the summary went on. This is what I was talking about with the graph. So it shows you what you spent like in housing. So my housing is down 39% of my income. And my savings is 42% of my income. So yeah, it's slow going as far as building my emergency fund. But yeah, that's it for that. Now the next thing, and I'm making a note for myself. Emergency fund is off. So about like almost $100, I believe. 5203. And I've figured it out. Hopefully I'll figure it out by the time I finish editing, but if not, I'll let you guys know at some point. All right, so I'm going to start my October budget. And so what it's going to do is copy September, make that October. And do I want to see October from last year? Not really. So what it did, even the income section of my October, it put that here. So what I'm going to do is I want to keep rebates on my screen. I don't have any rebates to take out, but I'm going to leave that on the screen there. So that way all it factors in is my salary and the rent from my son. And then we're going to scroll down. An emergency fund is $12.16. And you'll see I'm $921.21 over. Christmas and gifts $160, clothing $10, medical $40, insurance $130, car maintenance $100, household $100. Household, I'm giving myself $200, so I'm taking what I was putting $100 in cash, and then $100 electronically. I'm just gonna put $200 in there. Electronic. We're gonna see how that goes. If I don't do too well, we're gonna go back to cash. So the bill money, I don't have to add anything just yet. You'll see how that works out once the month begins. So that leaves me with $221.79 left to budget. And all right. So utilities, I'm going for even 300. And I hope I'm not yelling at you guys because my mic is right here and I'm just noticing it. $75 for my portion of the utilities, not my cell phone, and $125 for the internet, and $1,800 for the rent. Because y'all used to hate when I did change. I didn't forget. And that what happens when I click on the wrong thing. I'm using a Google Chromebook. Yeah, it's a HP Chromebook. I've had this for some years. It's gonna be about time for me to get a new one. But yeah, if I click off something, it does something weird with Yeah, they displayed HTML, I believe. 51.18 left to budget. So let's scroll down. So groceries is going to go up to $7.50. I should go into the negative now. My restaurants are still going to stay $80. Household and repairs. We're not going to do anything with this cash envelope. I'm not going to delete this category yet. I need a couple months just to see if I can do the electronic thing. I typically don't do too well, but we're gonna see. We're gonna try. I'm gonna try my best, because I guess if I could get off of using cash envelopes, try to train myself, I would be really, really good. But yep, I'm gonna think positive thoughts, right? Okay, $30 for my health insurance, and that leaves me with 2 cents left to budget, and so $6 is going to be here. And now I have October set up. What do I want to see about what was going on last year? So if we look at last year's October 2021, so you'll see 3460 went to debt. What was going on? Oh yeah, because I had Google AdSense, my full-time job was there. And both of the boys were paying rent last year. And I was charging them more too. I know somebody's out there going, why you charge them rent? You was warping out I was going to get rich off of my sons. Never mind their food, utilities, all that's on me. Savings from my cash envelopes was 151. So when I would reconcile my cash envelopes at the end of the month, that will put that into the budget for the next month, and it will go towards my debt too. So that was how I did all that. So my total income was 6160. Everything from YouTube actually goes back into my YouTube, helps me with my lighting and stuff. And I just realized I did not turn my light on, so I'm probably gonna look real dark. I got my normal light on. I didn't turn on my ring light. So sorry. Did not pay attention until just now. But yeah, so that's how it looks when you have debt in here. And then you can go click on that debt and it'll show you what the balance was at the end of the month, what the starting balance was for the month. So it was 4810. And then I paid the 3460. So I had 1350 left to go. Whew. Yeah, I remember making that payment on November 1st. Yay! So ready to get rid of that, y'all. So ready. But I can click on, go back to October 2022. Sorry, you guys, I got the hiccups. And so there we are. And so that is it. Y'all have a super fantastic day. Sorry, I made a very big mistake and forgot to turn on my ring light right in front of me. But we're going to do better on Thursday. We should be going over my goals. It's either going to be the quarterly ones or it's going to be the one for the month because I do the quarterly reset. But I will talk to you guys later. Y'all have a super fantastic day and y'all have a great one. Bye.